Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. It's a wonderful Monday, and today I'll be sharing my thoughts and feelings on episode 4 of season 15's Naked and Afraid. And for this video, I plan to share my thoughts on the location for the challenge, the survivalists, and how the survivalists did as a team. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. Episode 4's challenge location takes place in South Africa. Now, I've seen a number of challenges based in Africa over the past several seasons, and those challenges were a bit of a toss-up depending on the skills of the survivalist. But it seems like more survivalists have had better luck in the deserts of Africa than in the tropics of South America and Asia. But the 4 survivalists for this challenge are Chris, Danny, Andrew, and Anthony. That's right, folks. This is a challenge that features 4 men who are vets of Naked and Afraid, in that they've already tried their hand at completing a challenge, but they had to tap out before the challenges were complete. And for this challenge, the survivalists get into groups of 2 for 10 days, and then they form one big group for the remaining 11 days. Chris and Andrew are the first group shown, and right off the bat, they have really good chemistry. They waste no time getting acquainted, and all seems to be well between the two of them. However, Andrew gradually has a hard time adjusting to the lack of food that's available. On the flip side, the other team has Danny and Anthony. Both seem highly disappointed when they find out that there are no women on the challenge. But early on, they make a pact that they'll finish the challenge by any means. Now, after the 10-day mark, the two groups converge into one, and they find their shelter location with ease. But Andrew ultimately taps out early, while the remaining survivalists end up finishing the challenge. Now, what I truly admire about these survivalists were that they were truly in it to win it from the very beginning. All of them came into the process with a chip on their shoulder, and they already knew their strengths and weaknesses prior to coming into the redemption challenge. And most importantly, none of these survivalists wanted to be viewed by one another as dead weight. So when Andrew tapped out early, I didn't hold it against him. In fact, it took guts to do what he did, because he put the team before himself, and he even allowed his fellow team members to use his bow and arrow after he left, and it came in handy towards the end of the challenge. Now, if there was any downside to how these survivalists operated as a team, I think it would be that there weren't enough debates or discussions amongst the group. And no, I don't really want there to be unnecessary drama on a show like this. However, there were a few situations during this episode, such as the failures that Danny and Anthony had while fishing, that could have possibly been avoided if there was a team member willing to disagree with the natural flow of things and offer a better solution on how to solve a problem. In other words, sometimes going along to get along isn't always the most productive way to win a challenge. Now, there was a moment during the episode where the remaining 3 survivalists were surrounded by a pack of hyenas, but the footage cuts off before we as the viewing audience could see how the situation was resolved. Of course, the show isn't going to let anything happen to the survivalists, but in my opinion, this scene was definitely overhyped. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give this episode a solid 7. Even though these survivalists had their flaws as a team, I enjoyed seeing their positive attitudes, and I enjoyed seeing them pull their own weight, as well as supporting each other when things got tough. But this marks the end of the review. If you have any questions or comments related to the episode or the review, feel free to leave them below in the comments section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.